talk about poetry today and not about cats. Even if I am very well surrounded by a team who are very into poetry. Poetry of croquettes, mainly. It's a new episode of the series, your favorite poem from this new book, Robert Service Anthology of Best Poems and Quotes. A book gathering Robert Service's most famous ones and some you never heard about that you're going to discover today. I wanted to highlight the short account of someone very special. It's an adventurer. He's coming from Arizona and he did something very special and very impressive. You might have heard about him and followed his adventures by last summer season. His name is Karts, I'm going to pronounce it well, Huseonica. I hope I'm not too bad with your pronunciation, Karts, because I'm more usually speaking of cats. Well, he's from Arizona, and several years ago he had the idea to do an adventure by canoe along the Yukon rivers in order to reach the other part, Alaska, and on top of the American continent. At that time he didn't know well about Robert Service, and it happened that we have been meeting thanks to internet. And obviously he felt like he's doing exactly what Robert Service did 1 century ago with his journey from Edmonton to Dawson City in a canoe named Coquette. So there's no surprise that Karts has chosen to name his own canoe Coquette, perpetuating this nice history and this link through time, through space. Karts has been particularly inspired by the poems about the Yukon, about the wilderness, about the wonderless, about this powerful drive behind certain persons to accomplish adventures and to make us dreams about this land of Yukon. For many years, actually decades, I had heard the name Robert Service in discussion and related readings. However, I have not gone further into his extended work until recently, when I researched, planned and completed a major expedition on the mighty Yukon River. Immediately, Robert's name kept surfacing in my research and planning, and when talking to people about my expedition. I imagined myself in his world of work, adventure and social life. Enamored with his work, I named my expedition Canoe Coquette. I memorized a selection of his poems to recite in animated fashion around the campfire. Of course, the cremation of Sam Maggie was a future poem and one of his favorite ones. As I met people along the river in the Yukon Territory and in Alaska, I was amazed at how many were familiar with Robert's work. I gave a copy of A Third's Quest, a novel depicting Robert Service's adventures beginning of life from Scotland to the Great North, to a village elder of the Yukon First Nation. So it really shows how the memory of Robert Service's poems, how his rhymes are still very lively today. People you would meet along the Yukon River would know about Robert Service would recite, because his Yukon poems are the perfect description of what this land is, what the Yukon territory is. Something very fascinating, something rough, something tough, something that takes you very deep inside, and it's really until you have visited this place and experienced the Yukon that you can really fully embrace Robert Service Yukon poems. I'm going to start reading a bit of the cremation, but it's a very long poem. I mean, you really know about him. So I'm just going to read rather some line of The Call of the Wild. Have you gazed on naked grandeur, where there is nothing else to gaze on? Set pieces and top curtain scenes galore. Big mountains heaved to heaven, which the blinding sunsets blaze on. Black canyons where the rapids rip and roar. Have you swept the Vision Valley with the green stream streaking through it? Searched the vastness for a something you have lost? Have you strung your soul to silence? Then for God's sake, go and do it. Hear the challenge, learn the lesson, pay the cost. Have you wandered in the wilderness, the sagebrush desolation? Then listen to the wild, it's calling you. Have you known the great white silence, not the snow-gemmed twig acquired? Then hearken to the wild, it's waiting you. Have you suffered, stared and triumphed, grovelled down, yet grasped at glory? Then listen to the wild, it's calling you. And the wild is calling, let us go. That's really an invitation to visit the Yukon. It's also something more proud. It's an invitation to listen to nature, to listen to the world, to listen to all this beauty around us. There are many marvelous beauties in Yukon, but also everywhere in the world, and it is also something Robert Service wanted to epitomize and highlight in his verses. This deep connection to nature, to beauties, and to everything that give breeze to us, that give us joy and reason to live in these beautiful places, which is Earth. So now it's again up to you. Are you going to be able to make a choice? There is a lot of poem in, but I'm pretty sure you are going to find the poem that will really give you a smile, make you shiver, make you feel emotions. Thank you for listening to this new poetical episode. Wish you many rhymes and inspiration for this day, and we are going to call the last call of our little birds. Little birds? They are. Joe? You coming, Joe? Ah, it's a good boy, Joe. It's a really, really good boy.